night football, another doble jornada, which means lots of football in midweek and on the weekend. We are live Monday Night Football to give you guys all the coverage from Leon in this past weekend, their game against Necaxa, and their preview games versus Atlas and Puebla. So you guys tune in with us and we'll keep you kind of in the loop of things and our thoughts and reactions and everything. As you can see, we are down 2 men, so me and Carlos are trying to hold the fort down tonight. Carlos, how are you?
Right? Good, good. Uh, Good evening to everybody watching. Good evening, Gary. Hello, Jose and Javier. I hope you guys are watching as well. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Pretty exciting matchup that happened over the weekend, right?
Definitely, definitely. It was a wild one for sure, right?
Oh, exciting.
Very, because as we know, this was going to be a real matchup. Why? Because Necaxa have been playing really well. All star on their team, Maxi Salas, up against La Fiera, as we know, has
Yep.
created some beautiful football. Biased aside, it's legit, guys. Like Leon once again has demonstrated that they are a top contender. Carlos, am I right?
I mean, there's no doubt about it. When you beat the first place team two times in the same tournament, I mean, you got to be a title contender.
Definitely. So we'll definitely are gonna jump into this game. Leon versus Necaxa. Leon visiting Necaxa at home, Aguascalientes. That as we saw, Carlos Leon was like local. It's like an hour and 30 minutes away from Leon to
Yep.
Aguascalientes, and you saw how packed the fan base was in Leon in Aguascalientes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I said it in the last episode. I said we have a lot of raza over there, and I expect a lot of Leon fans to come out. And it was like 50-50, right? Maybe
Literally,
even more. Yeah.
yeah.
I heard that the stadium didn't even get packed. Like it wasn't full. But I think our fans made it seem like it was full because like throughout the game you can hear our porra like was the only one that was chanting.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty exciting.
Good atmosphere in Aguascalientes. Carlos, the team news that you had on your what's it called? Like preview. Do you mind saying them?
Right before the game,
Yeah.
right?
You know how
Yeah.
you post the lineup and you post the team news?
Yeah.
Break us down
We
the team
had, if
news.
I remember correctly, I'm just gonna wing this one because I didn't even know you were gonna ask this. But
Sorry.
I think we had. I said we had Campbell and Pedro Aquino were both out
Due to
due to
injury.
injuries. I'm not exactly sure what happened to them, but all I
Yeah,
know is
we
they.
didn't know really about them until they were making the trip down there, right?
Yeah, we weren't sure about them. Nacho Ambriz did say that he wasn't sure about them like a day or two before during the press conference. But it wasn't until the day that they were traveling that we found out that they didn't travel with the squad. But they didn't travel due to injury, and it doesn't look like they're going to play tomorrow against Atlas either
Yeah.
because they didn't show up to practice today. Um, Also, I put on there that Ivan Rodriguez finally got his starting spot back in the starting 11. His last start was in the first leg of the final last season against Tigres, which I don't want to talk about. I don't even want to think about it. uh,
We
but
don't
it's
talk
good to,
about that here anymore, right? It's not
yeah,
allowed.
yeah, it's not allowed. Anyone who talks about it gets banned. Um, but yeah, it was exciting to see him back there. He does look a little slow, not rusty, just slow. I think his conditioning is a little off. He was chasing Necaxa players pretty much the whole game. And then what was the last one I posted?
uh,
Leon, the record of how they've won every game in Estadio Victoria since coming back to First Division, and they just made it. What is it? I think the fifth win in a row now.
it's
Um,
crazy.
yeah, it's crazy, dude. Crazy
Crazy.
game.
Crazy game. Like, I
Yeah,
think, it's a game that we all expected to go one way, and it did, but until the very, very end.
exactly. Yeah, the
And
first. I mean, the first half was very intense. Both teams were going at each other. Basically, it was both teams showing what they had. Two really good teams, um, and then first goal comes off of a really, really nice play by JJ Macias, who had a quiet game except for that play. He didn't really get a lot of touches or a lot of shots. But that one play that got us the first goal, amazing. Crazy how he just went around the defender like that.
Fantastic. He like relived that play. Like when you thought it was, oh, on the wing, it's gonna go out. No, it's like he legit did his in his, out the pase down in the zone, and then it was just amazing. Like even though he doesn't score, he still has an impact on the field, and it's very hard for defenders to get a hold of him. That's why he knows how to move, the way he moves, the way he gets behind defenders, the way he, he's just an overall great player. And you saw, like, yeah, he didn't get a goal, but what a fantastic assist.
Exactly. Yeah, and while I was listening to the game, you can kind of tell that the attitude that the commentators had on JJ Macias having the ball so far out was not very positive. They were kind of like, well, JJ has it out in the wing. It's probably too far from where he's supposed to be. And next thing you know, like 2 seconds later, he's crossing the ball like 3 feet away from the goal, and we get the first goal in. And, it was a crazy play. Awesome play, I think. Credit to JJ and credit to Sosa for being in the right place at the right time.
Exactly. I think, there's still those commentators that kind of, criticize maybe his character and whatnot, and, not are 200% on it. But I feel like in that play, he definitely keeps shutting people up, continuously every single game.
Yeah, and in this last game, it wasn't his scoring, right? It was his overall play.
Yeah.
Playmaking, actually.
Exactly.
Playmaking ability.
Just to go over the starting lineup that we did have, Cota and goal, we had Tecillo Mosquera repeating, Jairo repeating also with Navarrito, and as you said, Jefecito was starting, which I was really felt great about it, because obviously Aquino, as much as he is a great player, I feel like the past couple of games, his attitude, his hot head has definitely gotten the best of him, putting us at risk for getting a red card, being 10 men, and losing that midfield person. And I think with Ivan, we definitely gain a lot of Ivan holding possession and Ivan controlling the areas when they are on a counterattack. Ivan can, easily man to man.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty good game. Like I said, the only thing that kind of looked off was his conditioning, because he was chasing Necaxa players quite a bit.
Yeah.
But he kept his composure when he got the ball, like in the midfield. He didn't lose the ball. I remember he made a couple of good plays where he just passed it back to the center backs instead of forcing the pass. But he looked good. I think he'll probably start again tomorrow, and hopefully he keeps that starting spot. I mean, it is kind of noteworthy to bring up the fact that he did get a yellow, right? And we were kind of mad that Pedro Aquino got a yellow so early. But yeah, he did get a yellow, which I think was a good yellow, though. It was a strategic yellow because Necaxa was going on the counter.
Yeah.
And whereas Pedro Aquino gets a yellow, and it's for no reason,
For no reason, just
dumb foul.
Talking back or causing scenes, and unnecessary ones.
Yeah.
And then in the attack, we had Meneses, Mena, and Sosa and JJ. So, we already reviewed the 1-0, fantastic play by Macias. And we left that 1-0 at halftime. And obviously we knew that this game was going to be very, very entertaining and very difficult. Why? Because, defensively, Leon is not 100%. Like, we have the players, but I think there's still something that needs to be worked out. And obviously Necaxa on the counterattack can do a lot of damage. So I think, both teams, it was a, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So,
right.
We've been really needed to be careful defensively on how Leon, se queda parado when Necaxa on a counterattack, especially trying to restrict Maxi Salas, which he did get a couple of shots at goal. And I mean, on him on the loose is like Meneses on the loose sometimes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we made those two mistakes after getting the second goal. which just talking about the second goal real quick. What a pass by Chapo, right? Did you see the pass?
Oh my
Incredible.
god. Oh
He
my
just
god.
incredible, dude. I was like, as soon as I saw that he had some open space, I was like, this is a goal right here. And then you just see Sosa making the run, and like the pass was perfect. It
It's
couldn't have been
really
any more perfect.
perfect timing. Perfect
Everything.
timing. And I think we've said this in the podcast after podcast after podcast. Chapo Montes ages like wine. This man is at his top game. Like if he was at his top game in El Ascenso, when we won the bicampeonato, last season, this season, it's like, when is he gonna stop? Never.
Right.
I hope never.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he was the best player of the game, even though Sosa was
Had his
chosen
hat
as player of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if you also heard the commentators like, saying like, oh no, gold by Sosa, but that play was by JJ, and then goal by Sosa, but that needed to be for Chapo Montes,
Yep.
kind of like, Sosa, hey, Sosa was like a chirito, right place, right time, gets him in, but you have to also give the credit to the playmakers that do, make the play pass. His vision, Chapito Montes' vision on that play, like you said,
Incredible.
perfect. It was
Perfect
perfect.
pass. If that was off by like an inch, it wouldn't have been a goal
Mm,
because the defender was right on Sosa. The defender was following Sosa, and he saw the run that Sosa was making, and he tried to clear the ball, but just missed, just
yeah,
barely missed. Yeah.
it was perfect. Perfect timing. And I think there was another stat like Montes already had 3 shots by minute 7, so we knew that Sosa was gonna have. I mean, Montes was gonna have a fantastic game. We saw the great, perfectly timed assist,
Mm-hmm.
making it 2-0. And then Carlos, this is where
Ah,
it just escalates in 2 minutes. All it took was 2 minutes
yeah. 2
to
minutes.
be a 2-2.
Exactly. I don't know what happened. I think the momentum just suddenly shifted. Like Necaxa just woke up, and we were lazy on the defensive end. I
Mhm.
think the first ball was Tecillo's fault. I think,
Yes,
yeah, Tecillo lost the ball, and then
that's the ball.
you know something I said when we played Santos was that you can't make defensive mistakes against Santos because
Mhm.
if you make a defensive mistake against them, they're gonna score on you. Well, I'm gonna add a second team to that list because what we saw this weekend was 2 defensive mistakes by Leon, where we ended up paying big time,
Mhm.
and I really thought it was going to be another Monterrey game where we were up 2-0 and we ended up losing 3-2, you know?
You're like flashbacks.
Yeah, I was having flashbacks. But hey man, this team showed like a resilient attitude
Mm,
where we hadn't seen something like this since last season's game against Morelia where we were down 2-0 and we came back to win it.
yeah.
So, even though they came back to tie us, we're playing the first place team. We're at their home and they have all of the momentum on their side. And we ended up winning the game 4-2. And I think the last 2 goals, big time credit to Chapito Montes. I mean, he had all of Necaxa players on skates. Did you see?
Literally.
Yeah, like the crowd was like, ole, you know?
It's just incredible. And yeah, you said it out well. I think we can definitely add Necaxa to another team that we knew it was crucial defensively to be prepared, and
Yep.
especially on counterattacks, positioning right. And I think that's where, Leon definitely struggled. It was 2 minutes of this concentración, and there goes 2 goals. And you're just like,
Exactly.
I'm sitting back like, really? Like we were just up 2-0. I'm just barely, reacting to the first goal on how bad the CEO left us, and now the second goes in and it's a 2-2, and it's kind of like, okay, now it's game on, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's like one of those moments where Leon scores a second and you go, all right, we got this
We good.
game. Let me go get a drink real quick. You come back and it's a tie game, you know?
Literally, because all it
Yeah.
took was 2 minutes.
It
It
was
was like,
only
hey,
like 2-3 minutes. Yeah.
it's like, oh, let me go get a drink. Oh, you know what? Let me get a snack too. And then that, and then you come back and you're like, what did I just miss?
Yep.
Like
2-2.
it was 2-2. And did you see that Meneses goal? That, well, almost goal.
Almost. Dude, I thought
Oh,
that went in.
Me too. I was like, oh, about to the screen. I was like, no, like that would have been a golazo.
Seriously.
I've been really wanting a Meneses goal, and he's been so unlucky this past couple of games.
Yeah, he's been really quiet, but he's very productive on the offensive end.
Yes.
So he really deserves a goal, and that goal would have been a very nice. It would have been the second goal. It was like 2 minutes from when the half started, I think.
Yeah, it was super early.
It was right away. Yeah. But that would have been a crazy goal.
Because I'm just dying for one of his goals lately. So I was like, oh no, just like bounced right outside of the goal.
Yeah.
And then, once we thought, okay, we're gonna end in a draw. Minute 90, we get that 3-2. What a fantastic buildup of this play. Can you agree?
Awesome buildup. I think it was Chapito Montes who started it again. He passed it to who was it? Mena. He found Mena. Mena went to Ramos,
Mm-hmm.
and then once Ramos saw that the goalkeeper was out, he just like turned. It was like a 180 turn, passed it to Mena, and Mena just tapped it in.
Yeah.
Awesome goal. That was probably my favorite goal of the night.
Me too.
Yeah.
It was a great collective goal, and I'll read you a tweet. I don't know if you saw it from Carlos Vela's brother, Alejandro Vela. He tweeted,
go for it.
confirma at León FC que en casa o fuera de ella es fiel a su estilo.
Right.
Para muestra el tercer gol que anota Mena. Juego colectivo en favor del jugador mejor posicionado, equipo humilde y solidario.
True. You gotta agree. I didn't see that tweet, but that's totally true. I mean,
It's true.
I think we're the only team that has continued to play well since last season, and with the same roster, the same style.
Mm-hmm.
The coach's ideas are still implemented. The players still believe in the coach, and it's showing on the field. I mean, if it wasn't for Santos, we would be in first place right now.
And I still go back to that Santos game. We could have won 2-1. We should have won 2-1.
Should have, yeah. Should have.
Like, it was just, it was just not it was a questionable night. But when I saw that tweet, I was like, it's true. It's, like you said, Leon has a defined style of play, which they've defined it since last season. They've continued with that momentum that they do have. Same roster, with the exception of a couple of players who add a lot to this team and have engaged in the chemistry that the team already had last year, including Sosa and Ramos.
Right.
We have yet to kind of see how John Cardona adds into that, hopefully later this season. But it's just, Leon's a very fearless team.
Right.
That they're very unselfish,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, let's just play the best we can. Whoever's in front, have the opportunity. Because that other goal, did you see? Navarrito was all the way up. Like, if not, it would have been his goal.
Which one? The fourth one?
No, on was it the second one?
Third one?
Or third one?
I think it was the third one. Because the second one was Chapito to Sosa.
Yeah, I think it was the third one.
Okay.
That, like, Navarro was all the way in goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm kind of like replaying it in my mind.
I'm same.
Yeah.
I'm like trying to vision, because it's crazy. You see, like, I remember I watched the game, like, going this way, like first and second half, but then the couple of highlights I've watched, the camera's like flipped.
Yeah.
Like, so, but yeah, I mean, just Leon plays very collectively. Tiki Taka is just brilliant, and obviously the cherry on top was the Sosa goal with his hat trick, minute 96.
Right.
Again, Carlos Chapo Montes, like
Chapo. I mean, how does he even get like through that space? He was literally tippy-toeing on the baseline, and I was like, okay, that's probably going to go out of bounds. But like next thing you know, he just taps it over to Sosa, and Sosa converts the hat trick.
Brilliant.
Crazy.
Brilliant.
And I really like the fact that Sosa didn't go out to like the corner and celebrate the goal. He went straight to Montes, grabbed him and picked him up. Yeah, and he said, "That's your goal. Like, that's not my goal. I just tapped it in." But yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for Chapito contributed on the last 3 goals, so he
Mm-hmm.
should have had a triplete.
Yeah, triplete
Yeah,
of playmaking
yeah,
and assisting. It's
yeah.
incredible. But yeah, that play by Chapo on it reminds me. I don't know if you remember, but I have this play in mind of Benzema doing that.
Hmm.
Real Madrid versus Atletico Madrid. It was a semifinal, and Benzema did the same thing. He like was all the way out. People thought it was out. Kind of tiptoed by the line, centered it, and it was a goal. So what Chapo did, I was like, this is like mind blowing. Like Chapito Montes is just on a whole other level. That honestly, he's probably the best of so far of the whole season.
I would have to agree. The best, well, yeah, the best Mexican player. I would have to agree.
Because I think I saw someone else putting like Chapito Montes, but also kind of hand in hand is El Huevo Lozano from Santos,
Yeah.
which I can definitely agree. I just
Hmm.
think Chapo's involvement in the whole 90 minutes, he's always involved. His vision, the way he
Yeah.
just controls the midfield, and we don't want to think of an afterlife, but we want to really enjoy when we do have him right now, and gives those fantastic games that he's one of the few ones standing after the whole ascenso and bicampeonato, and he's still here and giving us all these brilliant,
Yeah.
you know.
And I saw a tweet about Chapito Montes that said something like, "It's a shame that Tata Martino just takes him to la selección but doesn't use him."
Doesn't
Like,
start it.
yeah, like this guy's on another level right now, you know?
Yeah.
And
Even for like the these friendlies, like, you know, but I also think, as much as he is, I think it's still the chemistry that he needs to have with the other players in order to understand, you know,
right, right.
the
Yeah.
Chapo Montes effect, because it clearly has a lot of effect with,
Yeah.
Leon. I think it's just a matter of getting the right players, the right chemistry on a selección level to actually squeeze all the juice out of him and take advantage of him,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I hate to see his era come to an end because he is like what, 34?
He's an
Yeah, I think
oldster.
he's like a 34. He's probably going to hit 35 soon. I mean, he's playing like he's like 22, 23, you know?
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. I hope they build a statue of him. I really do.
With him, his what is it, Goku's
Yeah, where he's like this.
celebration, yeah, or whatever that show is.
Yeah,
um,
yeah, that'd be
so
nice.
that would be nice. Ending this recap, Sosa ends with 53 goals, three hat trick goals of his past game. His his hat trick after I think 6 years, something like
It's
that.
been a long time.
Yeah, it's
That's
been
been
a
a very long time.
um. So great game by Leon
Great
again,
game.
capitalizing their style, their play. They can do it. The whoever is next.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
best
that's
offense in the league.
pretty much.
Best
Uh,
offense in the league by well, the numbers say that.
yeah. Let's see. Chango Loco. He said Chapito would have won us 2014 World Cup. Yeah. It's sad to
Dude,
remember though that time. We spoke about it last podcast and how it was
yeah.
so sad.
Imagine
Um,
using Chapito against Netherlands in 2014.
it would have been something else. That midfield would have been so different. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And remember Gallito too? Gallito was like on another level
It was a
in
triple threat.
2014.
It was a
Yeah.
triple threat,
And
you know?
they're all short, so it would have been like the short guys against like these huge European guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Gulli when Gulli had his hair,
Oh yeah, I remember Gullit.
yeah. And everybody was like, "Yo, since Chapo Montes got injured, like Gulli hasn't been the same." And hey, it does have a mental effect on you, especially when you
Yeah.
share, the field with uh, a player like him, and vice versa, and not having your next, your support system teammate, and it
Yeah.
does have an effect on you.
Yeah, they were really cool.
Um, Entering our JJ Macias segment. Happy birthday, happy 20th birthday to JJ Macias.
Yep. 20th birthday.
Birthday so young, and we hope We wish him the very best, even if that's in Leon next season or outside of Europe. He will always be remembered as a young Fiera that made a strong impact.
Yep. Not
Um,
too many rumors about JJ Macias
been
lately. Been
quiet
pretty
this week.
quiet.
Been quiet
Um,
this
I think he'll probably start tomorrow because the coach took him out pretty early during the
Yeah,
Necaxa game. I think he only played like around 60 something minutes,
took him
maybe
out early.
less. I don't I
Uh,
don't I don't remember, but he
like
did play like around the 60-minute mark
yeah,
for Ramos. But I do expect him to start tomorrow against Atlas.
same. I think I heard they'll probably repeat the same lineup.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I was gonna wait for you to ask, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, well, we'll get that. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Quickly, just to review how the week ended. Santos is in first place with 20 points. Leon is in second. They're scratched in the top place.
Hmm.
18 points. Querétaro in third with 17. Necaxa in fourth with 17. America in fifth with 16th. Morelia in sixth with 16th. Monterrey in seventh with 15, Tigres in eighth with 14th. And I mean, honestly, they're all pretty close because after Tigres on the eighth spot, San Luis has bounced back pretty well under Matosas these past like 2 games.
Yeah, they had a really impressive win against Puebla, which we're gonna talk about later.
Yeah,
It was a pretty. I don't know if you watched it. It was a pretty cool game. Some crazy golazos in that
I didn't
game.
get to watch it.
Yeah, a lot of golazos. But yeah, they won it in like the 88th, 89th minute with
Dang.
the crazy golazo from outside the box. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be cool to face Matosas when we do get to face them because it's gonna be in Leon, so it's
I
gonna make
can't.
it a little extra special.
And just how I mean, we all love Matosas.
Yeah.
I was able to take a selfie with him, and it was just like the
Did
best
you?
day of my life. Yeah, Leon came to play a friendly versus Santos. It was like when he was at Leon, and we waited outside, and it was when Addis was still there,
Okay.
and me and my dad, because my dad's a Pumas fan, but he joins me
Oh, what?
soccer. I'm like, Dad, we have to go, to this Leon game.
Yeah.
So we went, and I'm like, let's leave early to wait after they get out. And me and like these couple of guys were there, like kind of my age, and they were like exiting, and the first one to come out was Addis, and we were all
Uh
like chanting, Addis, Addis, and he like came over, he's like, okay, I'm gonna sign everybody, and we were like, yay, so he signed. Yeah, William Yarborg signed.
Nice.
Boselli signed
What?
too. And then
Did you get
Matosas, I was
pictures with all of them?
no, I got autographs because he was doing autographs. But
Oh,
Matosa, I was
okay.
like, I have to get a selfie with Matosa, so I got a selfie with Matosa. I was like, oh my god, the best day of my
Nice.
life. Caicedo, do you remember Caicedo? He
Yeah.
played in Leon. He signed my
Right.
phone case.
Oh, really? Okay. Nice.
So I've had my
Yeah, this was a
fan.
while back then. This was like 2013, 2012,
Yeah,
2014 maybe.
20. Yeah, I need to look
This
at
was
my
a while
if I put
back.
it on Instagram, all the pictures and stuff. I need to look at, but it was when Matosas was still there.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was right before we won the back to back. I
Okay.
think it was in between that. Yeah. So
Nice.
it will be interesting, definitely, like you said, his return to Leon and kind of see how that. I'm excited for that matchup because this is a different San Luis for sure.
Yeah.
Um, quickly going to how the games went for this past jornada. Just trying to pull it up. Atlas lost 1-0 to Toluca, which
Toluca. Wow.
surprisingly, because Toluca hasn't been doing
Yeah.
that well. We
I
talked
mean,
about it.
yeah, and they missed the penalty in like the first 10 minutes or something. Talavera actually blocked the penalty,
Oh my god.
so they would have had the lead, but I don't know, man. Atlas is one of those teams. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they played probably the biggest decepcion of the tournament in Toluca,
Yeah.
and couldn't get a goal even even after a penalty. even after getting a penalty call.
So sad. I was shocked because I was working, so I didn't get to watch that game. I was like, "What? The Luca one? What is going on?"
Yeah.
And then also Friday night, Morelia beating Chivas 1-0, which I heard there was chaos because of VAR and everything going on. I saw
I watched some of that game too, dude. Sosa was like on fire.
lit.
Dude, Sosa, I was like, what? How did he save that? Like, especially the last, I don't know who shot it. I don't remember who shot it from Chivas, but it was like point blank range, and like Sosa just like dives this way, and like it hits his hand and just goes over the crossbar. Dude, crazy game by Sosa.
He's good. I've always
Yeah,
thought he was a great goalie.
yeah, he's a good goalie. He's from Uruguay, right?
Yeah, he just naturalized himself not too long ago.
Oh, really? Okay, so we
But they're
might
like,
we might have to recruit him to LT
yes, I think we should recruit him.
because that guy's good.
Tired.
I always wanted to recruit Thiago Volpi. Remember Volpi?
Volpe is amazing.
But he took
Querétaro,
off.
yeah, I mean, when Ronaldinho was in Querétaro, they came to play here friendly in Dallas, and we went to the training, and Volpe's just,
That guy's
you know,
crazy, dude.
he's insane. Like
Yeah,
he's really, really good. And obviously we saw how that affected Querétaro once he left. It was just like, well, all these goals wouldn't have happened if,
yeah,
Volpe would have stayed. So, Volpe's a good one.
yeah.
Um, Obviously Leon beating Necaxa 4-0, and then we had 3 games at the same time. So I couldn't watch any of the games. I was watching Leon. Santos beating San Luis 3-2, which was a close game because they were 2-2 and they kept going back and forth.
Yeah, I heard. I didn't get to watch that one, but I heard it was a close
Same.
game.
Also, Monterrey and Puebla were the close game too. Like kept going back and forth until Monterrey was able to get a 3-2 victory. The Pachuca Xolos game, I literally watched until minute 27 because they were 3-0, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
this game's done.
yeah. I was watching it too, and I was like, dude, like, what's going on? I turned it off, came back, and it was like 4-1 or something, and I was like, dude, this game's over. Like, I don't
It's
even
been
need to
over.
watch. Yeah,
America versus Querétaro, which was a good game because obviously we know America is not at its best form.
right.
Querétaro proving this season that they, do have some game and ended up in a draw, which I
Hmm.
was happy because, I'm more happier when America loses, but a draw is just 1 point, so I'm not too worried about them.
Yeah,
Um, Pumas Cruz Azul 1-1. I mean, it's not an interesting game for me. And the noon games, I can't unless Leon's playing at noon. I will watch it. Other than that, it's
yeah.
like
Pumas
it
always
takes
has those games.
it takes a lot. Until my dad was like, I don't know how you watch those games, but
Oh, your dad's a Pumas fan,
my
huh?
dad's a Pumas fan,
Yeah.
yeah. And then yesterday's game, the Juarez versus Veracruz, which
Did you watch?
Veracruz
I didn't end up watching it.
I watched it and I was so upset because I feel like everybody's like, why do you, hey, if nobody else has hope for Veracruz, I have hope for them, because honestly, they weren't playing bad. They don't play bad. They just can't win. And they
Yeah,
haven't won for a year. Like, can you imagine those fans like not celebrating a victory in over a year? Like, I
yeah.
would have died already.
I know. Just don't have hope for them when they play Leon.
No, no.
Because
Sorry, Veracruz.
we have a little history of losing against bad teams.
We do. So, they play well. But honestly, Juarez, outbeat Veracruz. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Um, so that is the recap. Chango Loco on the comment says San Luis winning. Sorry. We'll see. We'll see about that. I have Leon winning that game like 4-2 or something like that.
Yeah. Chango Loco's a San Luis fan. I forgot.
Yeah, I forget too. He's been spitting it out like the last couple of podcasts. And Javier, we miss you. What's up, guys? We're here.
Javier
We're here.
holding
We
it
are
down.
holding down the den.
Holding down the den.
So before we preview the Atlas game, we're gonna just quickly go over the Puebla game on Friday.
Right.
And Puebla's 18th on the table, Carlos.
Yeah. I don't really watch too many of their games, to be honest.
I don't either.
I don't know. I mean, no disrespect to Puebla fans or Puebla. I don't know. No me llama la atención, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but I mean, they did have a good game against Monterrey, but then I thought, wait a minute, Monterrey hasn't been doing too well either.
Really floppy
Um,
this season.
yeah, but I mean, they do have an interesting attack. You know, they have Cavallini, uh, Tabo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alustiza,
Justiça,
yeah,
Chumaceto, Brennan.
um,
They have a very old squad, Carlos. Like
yeah,
it's a squad that's aging, so they don't really have they have a couple youngsters, but honestly, the 11 is a lot of old guys, which no disrespect, but it's kind of like it goes back to Puebla has issues, you know, in the past couple of years. Like they
hmm
haven't been a team that is a strong contender, honestly.
yeah, and I don't even know what their issues are. I don't know if it's like cantera or money or just not being able to find the right coach. So I don't know. We'll probably have to get a Puebla expert on here soon, right? To try
Yeah,
to
to fill us in on
yeah
the
fill us in.
background of it because they haven't been again, if I watch Puebla, it's really rare, but it's
hmm
not a team that excites me. Again, if they had, I mean, they have good players. I mean, Alustiza, he's just, he's an oldie, but he's great.
Yeah.
Um, but they've only had 6 points. Like, what is
hmm
going on to them this season? So, and then the only victory that they had was against Juarez.
Okay.
So that's I mean, other than that, they've just like tied or lost.
hmm Not very
So
impressive.
no. So honestly, no disrespect, but I don't see them giving Leon any problems.
hmm
I
I
think
mean, I think it'll be a game a lot like last season's game where we went in there and we were riding like a 10-11 game winning streak last season when we went into Puebla and we came out with a 3-0 win. And it wasn't even like the score was reflected what happened on the field because I actually looked at the highlights from last season's game against Puebla, like right before we went live, and like Leon was just like totally like dominating like everything, and it could have easily been like 6-0. So
yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Puebla should be too big of a problem for us, even in Puebla, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's a team that have lost a lot of the emotion for football. And I think
hmm
that reflects because of their team. Their stadiums don't get filled up, like, you know,
They
it's
have a nice
just
stadium too.
they do.
Yeah.
Really liked, especially because they came out on Club de Cuervos and they ended up having to go play in Puebla and all that that whole backstory.
Yeah.
But it's just upsetting because they do have a nice stadium and you would think the passion is there. And I think clearly there's a lot of problems, even
hmm
with Chase. I mean, bringing back Chase and leaving him and then coming back and leaving him. Like I saw something where he was like exposing Puebla or
hmm
whatever
Oh,
about
really?
how the real owners of Puebla is TV Azteca. Um,
Wow, I didn't know this.
yeah, I saw it from Francisco. He has his Club Puebla English account, and
Okay.
he had retweeted an article about Chelis talking and him
Mm.
saying that the Azteca are the real owners of Puebla. That players had more control than he did, like during trainings and stuff like that, which I don't know. I think they asked Viconis, the goalie, and he was just like, as far as I know, I don't think that ever
hmm
happened or whatever, and that he won't coach again. So he's like done with football or whatever.
Dang.
So questionable because obviously Chalice is he's a character. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't know what to believe or what not to believe.
Right.
You know.
He's like another. He's like another. Damn, I just went blank. Coach de Chivas. ¿Cómo se llama?
Like Thomas Boy?
Yeah, he's like another Tomas Boy. Tomas Boy is a
Yeah,
like character too.
he's something else. I don't like the ones boy, and Chili's is just he makes me laugh because the stuff he says. That video when he was in Las Vegas, coaching that team, and he was like trying
Oh,
to
when he's
talk in
speaking
English.
English,
Yeah,
I saw that one. I saw that one on Twitter.
it was so funny.
That was funny.
Uh, so if they just have a lot of problems, and obviously, I think one of the things is that they don't have a defined style of play. So therefore, the players that they get is just
Hmm.
I don't think there's any chemistry. I don't think they have the right idea. Again, like you said, coach wise, like they're just a hot mess.
Yeah, and I think their salary cap is at like 20 million.
Really?
Yeah, so it's really low. So I mean, well, it's not like it really matters in Liga MX because you have like some of the lowest spending teams like in the top spots right now. Like Leon, Querétaro, Necaxa.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's something to think about. I think I saw like 20 million, 21 million on transfer market. Um, but yeah, they don't invest a lot of money on players. Maybe that could be another issue. Maybe they've asked that guy if they really do have a hand in there. Maybe they're just pocketing all the money. You know,
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me what goes
not in
on in
Liga
Liga
MX anymore,
MX. No, it's
right?
literally if they say like this, this is happening, you're like, yeah, I believe that because it's the Curi thing, Veracruz
Yeah.
double contracts and not paying.
Hmm.
Chivas, it's just like they all have their own like mini novela. It's insane.
Yep.
Um, but I think they'll, they do have a couple of good players. I think, our defensive line needs to watch out with Cavallini. I think he's a
Hmm.
great forward. Um, it was a rumor that he could be a Leon player like last season.
Hmm.
And so,
Yeah, I heard
and
that
I like
too.
the idea of it because I think he's a great player.
Yeah. Yeah. They have some good players that we have to watch out for. But like you said, I think our defense will take care of it.
Yeah,
But and I think our offense will take care of it as well on the offensive end.
I agree. I agree. I think um I think mentally Puebla has to prepare for Leon.
You think so?
I think so
More than
because
physically?
yeah, because I mean obviously they're like we're 18th, we've only beat Juarez, and we're up against Leon.
Mm,
Like
that's true.
kind of putting it in scenario.
I think every team takes that mentality now.
Yeah,
Like last season, nobody really took that mentality, and now it's like, okay, Leon, like they're really good. Their last season was no joke, so we got to prepare for these guys.
and I think that's what it was because obviously they're like, oh, it was just like a flash this season, like
Uh huh.
last season. Like, they won't repeat. No, even if we don't repeat our consecutive winning streak, why can't we play like we did
Yeah,
before?
and one thing that I kind of noticed where you don't hear people saying anymore, like, is Leon the real deal? Like last season, remember they people just kept doubting us,
Mhm.
and we just kept proving them wrong over and over. That's not happening this season. This season, it's like Leon's a contender. Everyone knows that. There's no questioning who if they can beat the top teams. There's no questioning anything basically. Like everyone knows that we're serious.
And they see the table, and it's like, where are the Regio teams right now?
Yeah, where are the
They're
big
not
spending teams, right?
exactly. Where are the money bag teams?
Hmm.
Like, and they're like, oh, they see, Leon and Santos, and honestly, and Necaxa, they have been playing well. Let's give credit to them, and they should fear them because I think at the end of the day, I can see Necaxa easily making it up to Leguia. Santos will make it. I see us making it. So who's the other
Yeah,
five teams?
I don't know, man. I think we're gonna see some surprises at the end of the season.
I,
We're,
I, yeah, it's gonna be
we're
like a race to the finish line. That's how I
yeah,
feel like it is.
yeah, yeah. We'll see.
Um,
We'll see what happens.
so quickly before we preview the Atlas, give me your prediction for the Puebla game. I know it's until Friday, and we still have the midweek game, but what is your prediction on?
Mm, I don't expect Puebla to score, so we're gonna keep a clean sheet. I'm gonna go with 3-0 again. Let's repeat last season. 3-0. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 4-0.
4-0. Wow. Okay.
So I think it'll be a fun night in Puebla. I
Mhm.
won't be able to watch the game, but I'll be on my phone trying to keep up with it. So I'm pretty
Okay.
upset. I'll record the game and rewatch it when I have
Yeah.
the chance. So that is our predictions for the Puebla game, and obviously the tomorrow night we will have the Leon versus Atlas game. And obviously, we're not going to just preview this game alone. We are going to have a guest from the Paradero Boys, which they are Atlas fans running the account. Um, let's see. I think
Are they
Chango.
jumping on?
Yes, let me
Okay.
just. He's used to scare me. Hello. He was a funny character. And then we have Javier saying that he thought Chango Loco was a Leon fan, and then Chango Loco said Leon is my second team. Well, we
Uh,
appreciate you sticking it with us. So we are gonna add. Hello,
Hey guys,
hello.
Hola. How's it going?
everything good? Everything good? Yeah.
Good, good, awesome. So, how are you tonight? Are you ready to help us preview tomorrow's matchup?
Yeah, sure. Uh, right now we're a little bit like scared for tomorrow night, but yeah, sure. Uh,
As you
uh,
should be.
yeah, definitely. Like we've come from two losses, last two games, one against Chivas and one um against La Volpe in Toluca, which was
Yeah.
their first win since I don't know when they last won. Uh,
Yeah.
right now, like Kufra is in a hot seat right now.
And we were
Damn.
talking about that game. Like, we did, obviously we have known Toluca this season has a lot of problems. We were expecting, La Volpe to get fired, and he's not, and he has his victory against you guys. How did you feel that game? Like, what went wrong?
Well, we had a penalty like in the start of the game,
Hmm.
and Osvaldo Martinez usually takes the penalty. I don't know why Barceló took it and Talavera saved it, and I was like talking to my brother, like, "What the hell?" I mean, Osvaldito always takes it. And then in the press conference, the first thing one journalist asked Gufre was why Barcelona took the penalty instead of Osvaldito, and he basically sh- like didn't want to any of that responsibility. He told us that it was the players
Oh,
who decided
player decision. Oh, okay.
player decision. So and then like when they scored, they immediately went they bunkered themselves. And actually, La Volpe in the press conference was telling us that he was like not happy of how his team played that night, but he didn't care. He knew he needed the win.
Hmm.
So who else but Atlas?
Yeah. La Volpe was on the hot seat as well, right?
Yeah, I was like, if like this is going to be like a fairly easy game, and we're gonna have the 3 points. La Volpe is gonna get fired, but we're Atlas, so we're the
Hello,
sec-
Atlas.
we're the
Correct.
second we're the second team with the worst luck in the league, I guess.
That's so unlucky.
Yeah.
So tell us about y'all's account. When did you guys start? And have you always been an Atlas fan?
Oh man, I can't remember the first time I went to the stadium. I guess it was like I was like in the minimum age when I first went to the stadium, and I've been going since then. We started the account like we're gonna for 2 years, right? See, yeah, from October 2017. That was when we created the account. And we have evolved all this time. We especially when the team doesn't give you stuff like
Hmm.
if you lose a lot, like you can rely on only having the soccer content, we have evolved making other types of content like gaming and other stuff. So yeah, we have become like content creators basically, not just like only Atlas Media.
Nice. How do you
And I
feel about the? Sorry.
no, go on.
How do you feel about the Atlas English account, the official English account that just came on?
Oh, I think it was like a big step. We already knew like 2 months before that they were trying to do this. Of course,
Oh, really? Okay.
when Orlegi bought Atlas, we like
Kind of
knew like if they did it with Santos, they're gonna do it with Atlas.
Mm, right.
Uh, but right now, like I see the content they uploading, like I don't like it, and they uploading like a lot of grammatical mistakes.
Oh, really? Okay.
And like when you're here, you know that it's the same guy who runs the Atlas account,
Mm,
and I don't know if he doesn't have like the experience of right now in the Toluca game. Like the first tweet he put like getting ready for the kick, of kick up,
uh, okay.
and more mistakes like that. So
yeah.
uh, I think they have to like
Hire
have
you guys?
definitely,
We have
but 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 like hire someone who knows how to run an English account.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, definitely.
and I was gonna ask that when Carlos was asking. And I think me and Carlos having this conversation before we went online, and we see, Atlas jumping on this, obviously our Leon jumping on, the English account, and now Tigres, and what we're seeing is those same problems, grammatical errors. They're using Google Translate,
Yeah,
and as we all can agree, the point of the English accounts is not to literally translate everything. It has to be
Hmm.
unique. It has to be different. It has to offer to the English speaking community that watches Liga MX. So I think that's where they're really missing a lot. And I think because it's starting to be like a trend, like, oh, they're doing an account, let's do an account. But they don't know how to do it. They don't know how
Hmm.
to connect with people. Like, you said, it's kind of like, I was reading a Tigres one too, and I retweeted it, and it was just not the best. It was like, so he said, and then put at Lucas Larraga, and it's like they literally Google Translate from the English one, and that's not the
Hmm.
point.
Tigres recently had one, and I saw it for the first time, and I think like that's not official. That's like a fan account because first of all, the Tigres the main Tigres account didn't acknowledge them. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that account is real or just a fan.
We actually had Luis from the Club English account on the podcast a couple weeks ago, and so we were kind of like upset when Tigres, came out with their account, and it's like nothing like what Luis has been doing with the English one. Why? Because it's someone
Yeah.
that actually knows and has has a kind of experience with the community and trying to engage with people, and it just sucks that we're trying so much to add to the community, yet we're not being acknowledged by how things should be done. So they just hire someone that just does the job, but doesn't really go beyond that.
Well, actually, like, um, I don't know if you guys know that because we're two guys in Paradero, my big brother and me,
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
and my bigger brother like is like in the test for being hired for Atlas to
Oh,
run the
really?
Really?
English account. But
Wow.
but right now I don't know if they invited him at the Clásico game,
Hmm.
and he was like with them, like they were showing him like how to do the stuff. Of course he knows like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
but
to do it, like,
right now I don't know if they're waiting to do some legal stuff because of course it's more complicated than just like come around.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're hoping that he gets like hired, and I'm gonna to run this account alone. Uh, Not just kidding. We're gonna both run it, but have someone who knows better.
Yeah.
And because it's the same guy. Like they were their tweets like they were like 15 minutes late.
Hmm.
We had the penalty and they missed it, and they were like playing, and the English account just tweeted like, "We have a penalty," and just 5 minutes ago, they missed it, uh, and like it's not their fault. Like it's the same guy. It's difficult to
Hmm.
tweet in Spanish and then tweet in English. But
Yeah.
that's why they need it. They need
Yeah.
someone like specific. And I don't know if the I don't know if the rest of the official accounts do like minute by minute.
Hmm.
They do it
They
because
do.
Do they? I think everyone does, right?
I think I've seen Leon do it. I've noticed of the Atlas one, they're like super late because I've
yeah,
noticed that because Tom had mentioned it to me, like that they're tweeting, stuff like um the Tigres one. I haven't looked at it since like I just retweeted their one of their terrible ones, and I don't follow them or anything. But I know that.
I saw the America one back when we play them, and they don't like do any minute by minute. Actually,
Mm.
they tweet like almost nothing.
And I know you guys do it minute by minute,
Ah,
right?
yeah, we
Yeah,
definitely like,
yeah.
especially that the last game where they didn't uh broadcast in the United States. I think only by like a subscription based by internet.
Oh, right.
So many people weren't able to see, and we have to do this so people knows
Hmm.
Yeah.
the terrible game they're
Nice.
playing.
Well, I really hope your brother gets hired. We wish him the best and hopes that he does. I think that would be a great addition from having someone, in this community knowing what they're doing, knowing how to connect
Hmm.
with people, and just, having that experience with, y'all's account and kind of infuse it with the Atlas account. I mean, that would be amazing. So I really hope that your brother gets it.
Yeah.
Oh, we all hope it.
Yeah, I'm crossing my fingers for
Hopefully, yeah.
him. Um, okay, cool. So tomorrow's game at Estadio Leon. Tickets are 2 for 1, which I think will have a very packed stadium. Um, Me and Carly were saying that we'll probably see a repeating Leon lineup. What is your lineup for Atlas versus Leon?
I think like it's gonna be the same. Because it's like the that lineup they play 4-2-2 instead of 4-2-3, which they used it like at the start of the season. Um, that lineup was the lineup we beat America, the lineup we almost beat Tigre. So I think they're
Hmm.
gonna stick with that lineup. Mm, I don't think they're gonna change. No, maybe they changed Barceló for Correa just because of his penalty or something like that. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like Trejo's gonna be there, Jairo Torres gonna be there. The defense, like we don't have anyone better than the guys that are there. So I don't think like we have um, anyone better to put in. So I think they're gonna uh, repeat the same lineup, just maybe in Barcelona not starting.
Nice.
So, with the whole Olerhi, with Atlas, obviously we saw players like Correa come from Santos, Nervo, and Angulo. How did you feel about those transfers coming over to you guys? Were you positive about it? Were you like, oh, we could have, done better? Or was situation with, I guess, like, those transfers coming in? Were you happy, or what's going on?
Those transfers were the best Orlegi could have been done, because when Azteca left them like a lot of big contracts they have to get rid of, and they didn't have much. Like they did everything they could in that period. It's not like they're coming in the next season they're gonna have like a big team or something like that. So
Mhm.
they brought like everything they could brought, and
Mhm.
yeah, just because that those big contracts, those bad contracts Azteca had, um, they they have to clean it up basically.
Mhm.
So, you guys have been had a rocky season. Where do you see Atlas landing at the end of the season? And the first eight, do you guys think below that, or and if so, what's the goal for next season?
I mean, if they can make it to playoffs, it's gonna be like a huge win. Um, like 3 weeks ago, I was like pretty sure they're gonna uh, make it to the playoffs. They're like right in there, but after Chivas lost and after Toluca's lost, they're like I'm like thinking now we're going against Leon. That's another loss, and I don't know. I mean, it's Liga MX. Everyone can get in the playoffs in the last 4 weeks. So I hope they get in. The special they most likely like get eliminated in the first round, but if they can get it to playoffs, it's like the best right now.
Definitely. I think we've all heard that,
At least he's
Torneo.
being honest.
Right. I think he's been like brutally honest about his team situation. And
Yeah.
um like everyone said, Torneo, it's one tournament and then Liguilla is otro. So,
Mhm.
like he said, if even if they squeeze in eighth, like they could be the ones going all the way in because teams tend to flop or tend to rise up.
Mhm.
So I definitely think, I think it's a work in process. And I want to ask you that game versus America, what went right? Because I was so happy. I don't like America. So whenever I saw that scoreboard, I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't get to see the game, but what did you guys do right in that game versus America?
Well, first of all, America had a like an injury list like days long, so that helped. But I mean, scoring first, I think that's the key of everything. They score first. America like went all attack, and we have like two wingers that are really fast. Trejo, which is a striker, is like really fast, and everything came right that game. They played like really well the game before that against Tigres, only to
Mhm.
lose at the last minute. No, they tied it at the last minute. So I think it was like a process of having those players play well. Then in like against Chivas, they like I don't know if they could panic or I don't know. They always like they come in like playing really well, and when they get to Chivas, they like I don't know if they're scared. Like it gets me really really
Thinking.
mad.
Yeah.
And Toluca, it was like I don't know. It was everything went wrong, the penalty and everything like that. But against America, it was like they all played well. They all played well,
Mhm.
and I think if every player tomorrow night, if they go right in their minds and they go concentrated and they play well, I think like every we can score on any team.
Mhm. Yeah, and I was telling Kadi that Leon has a history of playing bad against the bad teams. So that I said, we shouldn't come out against Atlas overconfident, thinking that we're just gonna run right past them. Just like any team, we should come out with respect, but play our game. Just play the game that we played, like in Necaxa.
I think they don't have like that much pressure as like because and nobody's expect them to win, so they can go a little bit more relaxed and
Uh,
do their game.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Definitely. Um, so under Kufre, do you want a new coach? Are you comfortable with him?
Like I don't like Kufre. I want him out, but I don't want him out right now because it's gonna be like a huge mess. They're gonna bring someone, and that someone is not going to able to do much stuff. So they're gonna, in the start of the next season, they're gonna be like everyone is gonna already hate that new coach. So
Hmm.
I want Kufre to finish this season, and then I want him out because like he's a great dude, but he's not very experienced.
Yeah.
I think we can bring someone more talented talented than him.
Do you have anyone in mind that you would like? or
Like
kind of someone's style that you would like infused into Atlas?
I think like every Atlas fan dream coach is gonna be like La Volpe or Marcelo Bielsa, but I don't know who right now is not in a contract, so I don't
Hmm.
I can't tell you like this guy we can bring
Yeah.
this guy, but like every Atlas fan dream is to bring La Volpe or Loco Bielsa.
Or La
La Volpe
Volpe
might
might
be
be
available,
available.
right?
La Volpe may be available, but I don't know. Like it's a different Atlas is in a different management, so I don't know if the problems are gone
Hmm.
with the Atlas management, so they can bring him in. Like he was like happy to be in the Jalisco. I got my uncle and my grandmother who works like in the cheerleader stuff,
Hmm.
and they were like they talked to La Volpe, and he was like very happy to see everyone he already knew like back when he was here. So I think he loves Atlas. I think he can, if they can give him a team, they he can do God knows what
Yeah,
stuff.
nice.
That'll be interesting. I definitely want to see what happens,
Yeah.
coach wise, and like you said, if they do bring him on, like, are they gonna, comply with his decision making on transfers or all that, or does does he still have power of all that too? So I really, it's interesting because obviously we've seen the multipropiedad with Leon and Pachuca, but we kind of know how things run there. So this fresh new one is kind of like we're kind of wondering how they will run. Um, Before I ask you for your prediction, I have to ask you, is there any players in Leon that you like, that you don't like, that you admire?
Like they're the their top three attackers, like they're brutal. I'm really scared of them. um, Leone has a like huge team, so powerful. I expect them to win this season if they don't choke the final match.
Oh,
Shots being
So
fired.
I can choose someone. I think I don't- you I know you told me a player, but I think
Mhm.
your coach like he's like the the cherry top. He knows what to do with the team.
hmm.
Um, but in general, I'm really scared. Leon is like so powerful, has so many weapons. Even with Tigres, Tigres like many people um, say Tigres is the most powerful team in the Liga MX. Right now I think Leon is the most powerful team.
If you could take one player from Leon from our roster and use him with Atlas, who would it be?
Macias, definitely.
Must be. Okay. All right.
It's
Yeah,
he's
because
a he's a very wanted man.
yeah, everyone wants him.
So, talking about Macias, because I was going to ask you, what is your take on Macias? Because we've asked, everybody, pretty much everybody that's been on the pod about him, because there's a lot of different opinions of him. They criticize his mentality. Oh, he's very arrogant. Oh, this, or others that are like, he's fantastic. He's the next generation. What's your take on him? Is it you like him as a whole player, including his mental state, or otherwise?
Or right now, like in general, if the player does well in the field and does his job without any mistakes or anything, I really don't care how he talks or how he acts like arrogant.
Hmm.
As long as he plays well, they
That's good
they
enough.
shouldn't care. That's good enough. Yeah, that's where they are. That's where they are professional players. Because when they're on the they're on the field, they enter the field, they forget everything and just do their
Hmm.
work.
Nice. Well said.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's the first response like that. That I'm
Hmm.
like,
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's true. They have a job. They're professional. They do their job on the field, and I think everybody else should just leave him alone. It's their lives. If he talks or doesn't talk or eats this or doesn't eat that or has a special trainer or doesn't, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
as long if he doesn't play like at his level, then you can criticize him. But
Hmm.
as long as he's playing at the level you expect him to be, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Hmm. Nice.
An interesting choice of player.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. Like, oh, I take I think a lot of people would take JJ in a heartbeat if they. I mean, it's a tough squad to kind of choose, but if it's a man that will give you a goal, then I think JJ does the job well.
'Cause I don't know if the question was what player I want in my team,
Yeah.
and right now we needed like someone, a killer that makes goals. So
Hmm.
that's why I chose him.
Nice. Yeah. Good choice.
This is a good choice. To wrap up the pod, we usually go over predictions. So since you are our guest, give us your prediction on tomorrow night. What is the scoreboard and who scores?
Oh, my prediction, like I'm gonna be like very bold right here. I'm gonna say they're gonna end up 0-0 and nobody's gonna score. That will be the perfect night for me. Like very boring game. Like everyone is like boo. 0-0. We go back home with a point. That's my dream scenario.
Victory for
Wow.
you.
He's
You
happy
are
with the
very.
tie.
You've given a lot of different answers. I applaud from all the guests that we've had. So
I mean, we're fans, but like we think different than the fans. Every fan gonna be, oh, Atlas gonna win 3-0. Osvaldito's gonna score a hat trick, and we're realistic. Like
Yeah.
I hope they get like 0-0, especially 0-0. I don't want 1-1 and 2-2, 0-0.
Yeah. Wow. And then that's
oh,
being realistic.
I'll be keeping an eye on when you guys live tweet, and then when they score, I'm gonna see if you guys will be like, oh no, it should be still 0-0.
You're gonna check our timeline, all depressing tweets, like everyone like drinking and stuff. But yeah, I
Nice.
hope they get the tie.
Interesting. 0-0. Carlos, what is your prediction for tomorrow night?
Uh, I think that mm, just knowing that Leon just came off of a very tough game in Necaxa, where all of our players were physically exhausted and they're going to start again tomorrow. I don't expect them to have the same kind of energy or the same kind of, that fire to win. I think it would be a low scoring game. I'm going to say 2-0 Leon. Um, let's say Macias gets a goal, and let's give Chapito a goal tomorrow. He deserves it.
Or is it after a great weekend?
Yeah.
I don't agree.
We'll see tomorrow. I went easy too. I went easy on you.
Yeah, you did. I thought
2-0.
you were gonna do a high scoring one on purpose too.
I was hearing the other prediction like on the next game, and they were like 3-0. You told 3-0, 4-0. I don't know.
I said
Yeah, with Puebla. Yeah. I said
Yeah,
2-0.
I was thinking like I'm coming in here and they're gonna tell like 6-0 or something like that.
no. I mean, with Puebla, we know they're in 18th place. They've only had one victory versus Juarez. Um, I don't see them giving us as much problems. Again, like Carlos said, we could go in overconfident and then maybe they get a first goal and then we're like, oh, let's react. Which I think the game against Juarez, I kind of went in overconfident. Obviously, we got
Mm-hmm.
the job done, but um, I think what we were saying. Puebla is a team that has no identity of a style. Their squad is getting old. Um, I think they are a hot mess, and I think they really need to change things, especially coach wise, player wise.
Mm-hmm.
Transfers and all that stuff. I think they need a lot of reconstruction.
Just sell a team.
That will be a starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, my prediction. I'm gonna go.
Hmm.
See, I was gonna say 2-0 because I do think. I mean, they have what 3 games in like a week span.
3 in less than a week. Yeah. We
Yeah,
play back. We play on Friday again.
yeah. So, oh, I didn't think about that. Like Tuesday and that Friday, like how they'll bounce back. Um, I'm gonna say 3-1. I'll
Well,
give Atlas a goal.
at, at
I
least we scored.
think
Who scores from Atlas?
maybe
Osvaldito.
Patito banger. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I think defensively, we talking about it. We still need to work on it. Necaxa scored 2 minute, two goals in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So, I think it could be a situation like that where defensively we are not concentrated and Atlas can get a goal.
Hmm.
I mean, we'll see. It's Liga MX, anything can happen. But I say 3-1. I say Leon maintains its momentum. I think JJ will score. I really want Meneses to score, and I also give Chapito because he deserves a goal. So, um, it's a very wide predictions.
Hmm.
As mentioned.
You know who deserves us to score?
Who?
Atlas. I think the Atlas is gonna score is gonna be like a handball, a penalty, or someone
Don't say
uh
that.
someone someone from Leon makes an own goal with his face. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, if that's the case, it'll
I'm
probably be
thinking Mosquera right now.
because he tends to be that kind of guy that
Yeah.
it's like arma de doble filo. Like he can either hurt us or save us.
Hmm.
So very, very interesting. Well, that wraps up our mega pod, recapping the game versus Necaxa, previewing a little bit about what can we see versus Puebla on Friday, and also having one of the Paradero boy here with us previewing the game versus Atlas tomorrow night. So,
I didn't say my name actually.
yeah, you
I
did.
know what I'm saying. It's my name is David, but everybody knows me as Suku.
So cool.
Suku.
Suku.
Suku. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Thanks for coming on, Suku.
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I know you had a couple of traffic situation, but I'm glad we were able to get you on to help us talk a little bit about Atlas and your opinions and everything like that. Because I definitely think talking to a fan gives us a different point of view over everything, the club,
Hmm.
over players, over coach. It's different being on the other side of another fan. So
Yeah.
On a darker, sad side.
I feel like I feel you have like the very like dark soul Atlas fan
Yeah.
kind of feel. So
Yeah, I've been doing things. I've been being an Atlas fan my whole life, so that changes you like inside.
completely.
Yeah, not a lot of happy moments.
Well, you've managed well. At least you're not like Veracruz, who hasn't won in over a year.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
well.
a positive.
Someday. Someday you'll get JJ.
You'll have your own JJ. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we hope someday. Maybe a Canterano player. Hopes are up.
Yeah.
That would be nice. But again, thank you everybody for joining in the pod, in the comments. Thank you, Gustavo Aranda, Chango Loco, Javier, and Suku had to go, so he jumped off. So me and Carlos are here holding it down. Thank you guys for joining on another Monday Night Football. We hope La Fiera does back-to-back wins, as they do have 3 games in a week span, which is a lot, but we have faith, right, Carlos?
Yeah. Let's get these 9 points and go for that number 1 spot.
Yeah, so we can be king again and
Yep.
have everybody fear us more than they already do.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week, which hopefully we'll have Javier and Jose back. And arriba la fiera.
Bye, guys.